easiest way for me to figure out my life is like this. So I'm going to record whatever the hell comes out right now, and I might post it, I might not. This might just be for me. But I have just had the most incredible healing. And the reason I say that is because the last couple of weeks, I don't know how to say this because I'm not a religious person. I was baptized Catholic, but I'm not a practicing Catholic or anything like that, and I don't go to church. However, in the last couple of weeks, I have had, in meditations, I've had a vision of a man come to me, and in fairness, the man was sort of tall and slender, and he was standing side on. And as I saw the man, I just remember thinking in my meditation, I don't know this person, so I dismissed it. And I was like, I don't know who that is. Like in my mind's eye, as I'm in my meditation, I don't know who that is. Like, and with that, the image disappeared. I later got an image of a well, what later became something. However, what I thought I was looking at was I was only able to see like parts of it. I couldn't see the whole picture all in one, and I don't know why I get my visions like this, but this is how I got my vision. It's like I got to put the puzzle pieces together. But I could see what I thought was a horse body, but I could see a beak for a nose. And I was like, a horse with a beak. Like, I was really confused by this image. And consequently, I then finished my meditation and I Googled. I was like, spiritual horse with a beak. Like, I'm like, what was I looking at? What was that? Beaked horse. Like all sorts of like things. Anyway, nothing came up. And I was like, oh, all right, well, that's a bit weird. All the things did come up because AI will produce, strange imagery and stuff like that. But what happened then was it actually led me to a picture of a griffin. And I was like, oh, and I'm not a Harry Potter person. I didn't know about griffins, so this is the first I'm seeing or knowing of a griffin. Anyway, so I go into Google, and I start looking up what a griffin is and all the rest of it. Now, a griffin is actually an eagle on a lion's body. So I could see the body and the beak, and I could see that it was a big body and a beak. But this was now what I understand to be a griffin. I'm like, beautiful. Spiritual meaning of a griffin. A griffin is the what's the word? Hang on, I'm paused because I think of it. Mythological. Griffin is the mythological depiction of Christ. And so with that, I was like, wow, the first part of my meditation showed me Christ. I just didn't recognize it because it's not a familiar like thing to me. So that's Christ encounter number one. This is just insanity. That's all I can say is it's insanity, because this is the course of me following breadcrumbs, I would have to say. Like, I get these little visions and I get these little things and I'm like, okay, I'll go do that. And it's part of the full surrender, but I'm sort of in a choose your own adventure part of my life, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, as you can probably tell by the smile on my face, because at the end of the day, what I'm getting from this is just divine purpose. Like, I'm starting to truly understand how it all works, and not pushing it, and it's kind of cool. Whilst also being in total disbelief in my little 3D self, as well as understanding wholeheartedly from my 5D perspective what's going on, because this is what I've read about, this is what I've understood, kind of thing. These things can happen. I just think that I'm an ordinary person. I still think I am, and yet it's not that entirely. The second situation that I have had with Christ is, again, the universe was playing with me, or spirit was playing with me. I don't know who, whatever. God was playing with me. All of them, all of the things were playing with me. And so the first thing I could see in my meditation was a widow's peak. And I was like, right. And then I saw a starfish, but it had I don't know, it was just a funny shape for a starfish, but I remember thinking, oh, starfish, like I was just, and then I saw kind of like a scary face, like not scary, but it was a different face. It was a unique face to what I would call a human face kind of thing. Nevertheless, I was like, what? Well, like I guess in my meditations, I still try to piece it together, because I'm like, what are you trying to show me? And again, I hear, put it all together. So I'm like, all right, put it all together. I was like, widow's peak, then the face, and then I could see like the starfish might have been the hair kind of thing. And I was like, oh, it's a jester. I'm like, of course, it's a jester. Anyway, I go on with the rest of my meditation, but I remember to Google a jester afterwards. Now, all of these things you can actually Google yourself and like see that it's just, I'm just meing my life. I'm just doing it. And these things that come to me, I have to go off of what other people's understanding is, because I'm obviously being shown messages so that I can come to this understanding on my own, whilst fact-checking myself along the way with Google. Nevertheless, so I get a jester, and I Google the spiritual meaning of jester. And if you look up the spiritual meaning of a jester, it's Christ's first 3 rules. And I would love to tell you what they are, but I cannot remember them. However, I was like, yeah, of course. Like, it just made perfect sense, kind of thing. I will endeavour to put them in maybe later on if I actually post this, or if this is just for me. But otherwise, I have to remember it for future reference. Meantime, I just understand them because it's something that I live by anyway. So, that's, I guess, the other irony about what I'm going through at the moment, is that I'm starting to live by just who I am. I have made a really big point of not getting involved in, I don't watch television, I don't listen to commercial radio, I don't fall into the trap of Instagram and stuff like that. Like, whilst I love a good funny meme, like if I go down the rabbit hole, which of course I do because it's in my hand and I'm able to, but I don't get sucked into any form of influencer or any person that is trying to tell me what to think, because I'm getting my own downloads. I repeated something the other day that I was like, oh, I think they should do this. And it's actually in an interview. It's in an interview. It's the one with Hazel Ray. If you want to go back and watch that, it's the one with Hazel Ray. And I made comment they should do this. And I think she actually said, I think you'll find Carl Jung actually did. I'm pretty sure that's who she referenced. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, that's how much of under a rock I am. I don't... under a rock in the sense of, like, it's already out there, but aware, I'm getting these downloads without even trying. It's kind of just weird. So anyway, the whole reason that I actually went and had this healing today was because I had come across my good friends, who I'm actually sitting on a beautiful land at the moment, having my own grounding after this, and this, I think this video is all part of the process of what I'm going through. So I'm sure that she won't mind my saying, but I've got a very strong bond with her family. I originally met through her sister, and that was an absolute divine connection that needed to happen. which led me to their entire family. I've honestly, the only person I haven't met is their brother. So, but outside of that, I've pretty much met every single member of their family over the course of the last 5 years. And I, have often thought to myself, how do I buy in? I love these people. I'd love to be part of their family, and I guess in a sense I am. However, on New Year's, I had an extremely profound experience with her daughter Remy, and that experience was, amongst other things, we had conversations throughout the night previously based on a past story of Remy's, which is somewhat not irrelevant, but it's a big story, I suppose, and I don't have permission to have that conversation at this point. But what did end up happening at the end of the night, there was a lot of healing throughout the night, and what ended up happening at the end of the night was Rem actually choked, and like choked good, like real good, like nailed it, choked. And I happened to be the person sitting next to her, and I realized what was going on, and it was quite serious, and I am downplaying it as I'm saying it to you now, but the look on her face I will never ever ever forget. And I ended up performing the Heimlich maneuver on her 3 times to dislodge what was caught in her throat, and she finally took a gasp of air after not being able to breathe for considerable amount of time, I suppose, given all of the things that had actually occurred that evening. So the reason I say that it is so profound, and was profound for me, is because I can only liken it to giving birth. And whilst they're not physically the same thing, connectively to another human, it absolutely is. To give birth is to give life, and to save someone is to save life, which is also giving it. And I feel very deeply connected to Rem, and that's now, it's changed our bond forever, so beautifully. This is I have become family, which is so beautiful. Nevertheless, Rem went to a healer, and that's why I'm here, obviously. Rem went to a healer, and I sent Cole a message the other day, and I said to her, can you please give me the name of that healer? She never replies quickly to a message. She replied really quickly to that message, which I kind of thought was kind of funny, but I was like, of course, like I needed it, so I got it. And I contacted this beautiful woman who had actually spent time, as I said, with Rem, and I have just gone there and had this healing. First of all, I knew what card Remy had pulled first, because Rem and I had caught up last weekend, and so I was up here last weekend, so I had caught up with her, and we had discussed the card that she had pulled, and I ended up going in there, and first thing I did was pull the exact same card and burst into tears. Now, the card is also significant because of the picture that is depicted on it, so which is reference to Rem's story. So it was not only a deep connection, but an even deeper meaning, because we had so many connections in relation to even that card. Anyway, I'm getting on to third encounter with Christ. So I go there, and the woman has a cross on her neck, and she has a picture of Christ next to her. Jesus, she says, Jesus. And then she said, I'm not a religious person, but this man is like, he's the everything. And I was like, you're not going to believe this. And I told her about my 2 recent situations that had happened. Well, yeah, when you connect that deeply with somebody, and Christ becomes present in the room with the 2 of you, it's the most insane thing you've ever experienced. And I experienced that. And so now I'm sitting here kind of going, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? And also, how fucking cool is that? So I would love to be able to try and put this all together. But I don't need to. Got it. I love that shit. That's how I get it. This is how I get it. It's like I hear it. And it just tells me kind of what to say. Yeah. I don't need to. I just need to surrender. Which is pretty much exactly what I've done anyway. I'm on my wild goose chase at the moment. Where's my purple cat's eye? So even this purple cat's eye, I've had that for I got it maybe a week before the new moon. Full moon. That we've just had. And so it's even got its new charge up. However, I just had a thing of I'd done a meditation and I got a picture of a cat's eye, and it was like the slit of the eye, and I was like, oh, is that like a jaguar? And I was like, I even in the meditation I was like, I don't think jaguars have slit eyes. Anyway, they don't. They actually have a normal round pupil. So it was specifically a cat's eye that I saw. And I was like, I have no understanding of that. Okay, whatever. Allow. It'll make sense later or at some point. And I don't know if it entirely has. Like, there's still more to this little pony. Like, this is just the porn at the beginning. So I see the cat's eye in my meditation. I'm driving to Dalesford, and I'm like, all of a sudden, like, thinking about this particular colour, and I'm like, it's like, and I was saying it like this, it's like cherry black but purple. It's like cherry purple. And I was like, I couldn't quite get the picture, but the picture was, in fact, it was like black and purple, but like that really like deep black purple, like it needed to almost like be on the angles to like shimmer and shine and all the rest of it. Anyway, I'm stuck on this colour, and additionally, because this is where my brain went with it, I'm like, oh, that'd be such a nice colour on a car. I'm like, if I could like swatch that colour, like I'd definitely get it like painted on a car kind of thing. So this is like, this is how far my little like sort of nuff brain goes. And anyway, I get to Dalesford, and I had done sort of looked around at a few shops and whatnot, and then I went to the crystal shop. And I love this crystal shop, by the way. It's nothing, it's not a big one or anything like that. It's just got a nice feel about it. And the girl who works there, she's also got a nice sort of energy about her. So I enjoy her honesty and her truth and her energy when you walk in. She's just, she's a vibe. Her name's Jade. So she probably has no idea what my name is. I just know who she is. Nevertheless, it is a good shop. And I went in there, and I would normally turn left in this shop every time I go into it. And I didn't. This time I walked in and I turned right straight away, and I just looked at the first shelf. So I'd been in the shop for like 8 seconds. And you got to remember that earlier in the day I'd had the meditation and seen the cat's eye. Then I had this colour purple. Well, when I walked in, not that one, when I walked in, and I turned to the right, within 8 seconds I was looking at that stone, and I can prove that I took a photograph of what it's called. It's called a purple cat's eye. I'm like, that was a good one. That was the fun one. Where do we go from here? So I don't know what that's all about. However, the healing today, not only did it come with, like, you know, have Jesus as part of our encounter. Hang on. So she also has, she minds, she's a foster parent for animals, and she had a cat there, and this cat's name was Luna, and Luna was an adoptable feline, and as we were doing our reading, the cat sat right outside the window and looked at me. She actually said to me, "That cat doesn't look at anyone." And I'm like, I was looking up cats the other day. I'm like, I want a cat. And I'm like, I can't even say meow meow at home because my dog starts to look for the cat. I didn't get a cat. But I mean, I could have very nearly got a cat too, as well as had a reading and seen Jesus. I'm like, all right, just one thing at a freaking time right now, because, yeah. Oh my God, I need to get a cat and call it Jesus. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Jesus, for sure. I'm sure I'm not the first person to do that, but I'll find Jesus. That's my thing now. Now I got to find Jesus. So it's definitely not Luna, despite the fact that Luna gave me those take me home eyes. Yeah, it's a weird place to be, but this is not. This is absolutely beautiful. And look at this space that I'm sitting in. Her beautiful children made this for her and her husband. One afternoon, they just went, let's make a space for Mum. That's appreciation next level, isn't it? What a beautiful, beautiful group of people. I could do a whole video on them. You know, you just find really good people, but like, no bullshit, really good. Just, it's such a lovely family to be involved in. Oh, no offense to my own, but it's different. It's just different, you know? It's different. Yeah, I think I'll stop talking now because I don't know what I'm processing, and we've been talking for 23 minutes, so I will come back if there's more to process or something comes up. Anyway, if you got this far and you actually listened, I really do appreciate it. I think I'll be doing something with it, obviously. I mean, you can't keep seeing Christ and be like, oh, I'm just going to go work a normal job. That's just not going to fucking happen, is it? So, watch this space. Or don't. Just let it unfold. I'm not even watching it. I'm just allowing it. So, allow this space.